Yeah, I did change, and I'm really glad I changed.
This one's wife. I will let you see Lili. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. The offspring of a narcissist is a non-intimate secondary source in that narcissist fuel matrix. Remember, the child is simply an appliance that is there to be controlled, which invariably is easy. They do provide fuel, although it's of moderate potency. They are useful with regard to character traits, particularly where they start to achieve things. Accordingly, characteristics and achievements of the child become obtained by the parent. He gets his brains from me, for example. Oh, he won that tennis tournament as a consequence of my coaching. And of course, residual benefits. Primarily, children are often useful with regard to the facade, the presentation of being a good parent or having an idyllic family life. It's no different for this one's wife. The children are there to be used by her. They're little mirrors, offshoots, appliances. The debate remains as to whether they actually exist or not, and this one's wife persists in portraying to the outside world that the children do exist. However, they're rarely seen. Another advantage that a child provides is that they can be used for the purposes of triangulation with other people. Those of you who have been involved personally with a narcissist in an intimate relationship which has then gone wrong and has resulted in you parting company, divorce possibly following, and thereafter you may have found yourself involved in a child custody case, or at the very least, you will have had some difficulties with the narcissist vis-à-vis arrangements concerning the children. Why is that? The children present an opportunity for the narcissist to use that child, not only in terms of controlling the child themselves, but by using the child as a device to get to a bigger prize. When the relationship with the narcissist ends, that intimate partner primary source becomes the former intimate partner primary source. That individual has the most potent fuel that can be obtained. And for a narcissist, getting to that fuel is often an aim of the narcissism. A very effective method of controlling that former intimate partner primary source and getting fuel from them is to use the child to triangulate with them. So in some instances, it might be smearing the former intimate partner primary source to the child, so the child makes mention of this to the former intimate partner primary source, which causes them to react. They contact the narcissist. What do you think you're playing at, telling little Timmy that I have repeated men staying over at the house? You know that's a lie. The manipulation has worked. The triangulation with little Timmy has caused the former intimate partner primary source to get in touch with the narcissist, demonstrating they're under control, and they've offered up a delicious dollop of proximate fuel, which is very potent. The narcissist has succeeded. In other instances, it might be to fail to do something in relation to the child. For instance, fail to return their lunchbox with them, prompting the former intimate partner primary source to then respond as a consequence of triangulation with both the child and the lunchbox. In effect, the child becomes a stepping stone for the narcissist to get to somebody else. And it won't surprise you to learn that this one's wife has purportedly behaved in a similar fashion. According to Lauren Welch, writing in the Express, this one's wife may give her blessing for Princess Lilibet and Prince Archie to meet with King Charles, but on one condition. The blessed saint of Our Lady of the Grift is, giving her blessing. She is so saint-like, of course, demonstrating her grandiosity, whereby In order to seek to assert control over King Charles, a non-intimate secondary source in her fuel matrix, she uses her children, effectively as bargaining chips, which only goes to underpin that she has no emotional empathy for them, and she just sees them as objects. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex have reportedly purchased a new home in Portugal, with many fans believing that this move could allow the couple to get closer to the royal family without actually having to step foot in the United Kingdom. Despite the Duchess reportedly having concerns about the move, and Harry previously claiming that his wife would never return to the United Kingdom, an insider has suggested that the move could mean the children could have a chance to see their paternal grandfather. Now, so far, Charles has had very little interaction with the children, which, dependent on which version of events you believe, this is either because they don't exist or that they do, but this one's wife, exhibiting her absence of emotional empathy and overall nastiness, has prevented her children from having a meaningful relationship with their grandfather, their step-grandmother, their uncles, their aunts, and their cousins. On the basis that the children exist, it's unsurprising that this one's wife would put her own interests ahead of that of the children. Other people might have had a falling out, but they would still involve the children in having a relationship with members of their family for the sake of the children, irrespective of what they might feel. But of course, this one's wife must always come first. Her needs must always be attended to. And therefore, on the basis that the children do indeed exist, this one's wife doesn't care about what they would want, doesn't care about the impact upon them, doesn't care about the sadness of other members of the extended family at not seeing the children. That is irrelevant to her. All that matters is her being able to control people by keeping the children away from them. Archie 5 and Lilibet 3 have spent very little time in the United Kingdom and have grown up in California. But now it appears the Duchess will allow her children to visit the UK on one condition. The source told Closer, that well-known encyclopedia of accuracy, now, if it is deemed safe from a security standpoint, it's likely she'll give her blessing for Harry to take Archie and Lilibet to see their grandpa, King Charles, at some point. And in terms of logistics, having a place in Portugal will make that easier, because this one's wife can fly over with the kids without feeling trapped. In other words, I can keep an eye on things in Portugal. I'm not going to come back to the United Kingdom because her narcissism recognises that she won't be able to control people. But I won't be on the other side of the Atlantic. I'll just be in Portugal, and I'll let Dad take the kids to see Grandpa. And it's with my blessing. Nothing about what Harry might want. Nothing about understanding that the children might want to form relationships with these individuals. But rather, she's simply doing this because it suits her. Now, of course, this all might be future faking. Another leak of information from the Duchess of Delusion, whereby she says, "Oh, look, if you do something for me, I'll let the children come." Oh, how good of you. But in actual fact, it never actually happens. It's done to try and generate some publicity and some popularity for her by being seen as her being kind. Once again, governed by her narcissism, in the moment, she talks about how she might let them go, but whether she actually does remains to be seen, and therefore it could be future faking. It's also triangulation. She's using her children as pawns in relation to assertion of control over members of the royal family and also the public at large, as she seeks to manage her facade by saying, look, they can go, but the security needs to be catered for. Again, it's a form of blackmail, trying to get a residual benefit with regard to security being paid by saying, sort that out and you can see the kids. It's a little bit like the narcissist saying, if you pay me more child support, I'll let you see the children more often. You should be allowing the children to see their other parent, either in accordance with the court order, or you should be doing it anyway, because they benefit from having that involvement. But with a narcissist such as this one's wife, where her needs become before anybody else's, you see, The fact that she seeks control, fuel, and the residual benefit, which includes facade management and the payment for security. And she is quite content to triangulate her children to achieve that, to use them as pawns in emotional blackmail, and possibly engage in future faking. Once again, her behaviour can be understood through looking at how she behaves as seen through the prism of her narcissism. Do you think that this is a genuine offer for the children to go and see Charles and Camilla and the other members of the family? Do you think it's just dangling a carrot to make herself look good? Do you think that it's actual just nonsense and it's another leak that is demonstrated by this one's wife as part of her facade management? Let me know in the comment section. I'm HG Tudor. Thank you for listening.